Shekalim daf tes. The Gemara before the bottom of Chesed Beis declares what's the halacha could be yotze daled kosos be Yayin mevushal. And the Gemara brings from Yayin that held you could be yotze with Yayin mevushal. And the Gemara says Yayin taimei that when Yayin drank wine, it hurt his head for a long time. The Taklin Chadatin explains what's the suffix of the Gemara if you could be yotze with Yayin mevushal. For dal kosos or not, and he says the understanding of the suffix Gemara is because the Tzmvur and the Gemara Babastaf Tzadizayin that halacha is Eidom kidush hayoim ela Yayin sheroyel nasich al gabi hamizbeach. It has to be roy from nesachim al gabi hamizbeach, and Yayin mevushal is not fit for nesachim, so therefore it's possible for dal kosos as well. Or do you say that the reason why it's possible for nisach is not because of a geroi, not because of a chesaron, it's because it's nishtan, it was changed, but it was not a geroin, it's not a chesaron, so therefore in regard to dal kosos it would not be a problem. Ayin or Sameach that also learns like the Taklin Chadatin. The Moshe Sternbach Shlita in the Sefer Moedim Uzmanim explains the suffix of the Gemara according to Yisoid from Biskarov, which you mentioned the Shurim in Psachim Daf Kuf Tes. That Biskarov says that there's two halachas in the halacha of Dal Kosos. One is the Brach halachos and the Shtiyas Yayin Derech Cherus. There's a halacha in Dal Kosos they have to have a Shtiyah of Yayin Derech Cherus. So therefore the Gemara suffix is the Yayin mevushal is not the derech of cherus. Derech cherus is not to have Yayin mevushal, and with that he explains what Yayin taimei that drinking wine caused him pain in his head. So therefore, what? Well, how is that Yayin taimei? And he explains that the raya is that in a situation where drinking wine will hurt him, and even a king that's sick, it's normal for him to drink Yayin mevushal, so it's not a steer to their cherus. The Rambam writes in Hilchas Shabbos that you can't be yotze kidush on Hilchas Shabbos with Yayin mevushal. It's not royal and nasich gabi mizbeach. The Raiva disagrees and holds that you could be mekadesh with Yayin that has a teruvus of dvash, and that's the opinion of the Ramban, the Rashba, the Biskarov, and the Moshe Sternbach and the Mizman explain that it's not shver b'chlal on the Rambam from our Gemara, because the Rambam is saying halacha specifically in Kiddush that Kiddush has to have Yayin that's royal nasach gabi mizbeach. However, dal kosos, there's no halacha in dal kosos that needs royal nasach gabi mizbeach, and the Biskarov explains even though dal kosos, one of the dal kosos is Kiddush, either it's referring to the other three kosos. However, Kiddush and Echanami, the first kois in Echanami, can't have Yayin mevushal, or it's talking about when you're being yotze Kiddush from somebody else, but your Kiddush, you're not being yotze with Yayin mevushal. That means Ayin Oid, when you show him hold, the Kiddush and Yontif is Drabonon, so maybe the Kiddush of Yontif doesn't have this halacha that he needs royal nasach gabi mizbeach, but Ayin Birchas Yitzchak, from Paler, and we mentioned the Shurim Daf Kuf Yad Zayin, in Psachim, that says Kiddush on El Pesach is different, even according to Rishonim that hold Kiddush and Yontif is Drabonon, but El Pesach is Deraisa. So therefore you have to say like the Biskarov, the other two roots, either talking about other three kosos, or when you shama Kiddush from somebody else. I the Magen Mishnah that brings from Rishonim the whole Yayin mevushal, you don't make a boy pegof, you make a shakal ne'bedvorei. I know the rule that asks if you make a shakal ne'bedvorei, so you see it's not wine. So what's the pshat in the Gemara that the Gemara says that you could be yotze dal kosos? How can you be yotze dal kosos if it's not wine? So the rule says it's not shver. Although you make a shakal ne'bedvorei, you could still be yotze dal kosos. It's more tremendous chiddush in the Azruah that even though Yayin mevushal making a shakal ne'bedvorei, that doesn't have the ma'ila of wine to make a bar priyagofen, but yes, it has a shem yayin, enough of a shem yayin to be yotze dal kosos. Tzarech ian tuva. It's a very interesting chiddush that even though the wine you make a shakal ne'bedvorei, you can be yotze dal kosos. Tzarech ian oid according to the Yisod from Pali, which you mentioned Shum Daf Kuf in Psachim, The Boyer Piagofin is not only Berchanen and it's Mavur, and Rashi even Daf Mem, that the Boyer Piagofin is Mash for the Brocha and the Koshel Brocha. So it's Mavur over here, even the Shekalim and Dvoru also is like a Boyer Piagofin to Mash for the Koshel Brocha and the Koshel Brocha with Tzurchi and Oid Bezah. Moving further on, the Gemara of Testament Aleph brings the Chaymer of the Indian that's Adam Tzurchel. That a person has to be Yotzi the Abrius the same way he has to be Yotzi the Amokim. And I bring Ve'yisim Nikim Mi Hashem Yisrael. Eigentlich some Seif and Chuvis that mentions it's very hard to be Mekayim the Allah of Yisim Nikim Mi Hashem Yisrael properly, and he says Kol Yom Avu, it's in the star to Mekayim it properly. Ein Sefer Chasidim that says interestingly that if a person's not Mekayim mitzvah Yisim Nikim, he besides from the Issa Yisim Nikim is also being Machshalas Chaveiroi in being Choshid B'Ksherim. Ein Bisach Zilberstein and Cheshukei Chemed, that's interesting Sophic that declares regarding a case that there was a public shir, that a big Magid shir started giving a shir, and in the middle of the shir a cell phone rang, and with a very loud ring, and it started ringing again and again, and someone came and stood up and left the shir. And although the cell phone wasn't his cell phone, it was his elderly father that was sitting next to him, had a cell phone on, and nevertheless the son stood up and walked out and embarrassed himself and made a statement that would seem like that was his cell phone on in the middle of the shir. So Yitzchak Zilberstein declares if he did the right thing to publicly embarrass himself to save his father from embarrassment, and he assumes that it's the right thing because it's a mitzvah of kibbud av v'eim, a tremendous high level of mitzvah of kibbud av v'eim, and he says in this, the Bach writes that although a person doesn't have to collect money for mitzvahs kibbud av v'eim over there, because at the time he's collecting money and he's embarrassing himself, the father's not nanib. Over here, when he left the room and embarrassed himself, the father was nan, and the father didn't have embarrassment. And then he declares further over here, although he did kibbud av v'eim, he was over in the Isser of Yisim Nikim, because people would think that he had a cell phone on. So he compares it to the Gemara in Sanhedrin Daf Yud Aleph, that when Rebbe was sitting to give a shir and he smelled the Re'ach Hashum, and Reb Chia got up as if it was his bad smell from the Re'ach Hashum, and everyone else got up. So you see, he could embarrass himself. So he says over there it's different because over there everyone else got up, all the other people got up, so it wasn't clear that it was Reb Chia that smelled. And he says further over there he didn't do anything wrong. It was normal to have a reach. It wasn't a real ism. Mashenkin over here, if you have a cell phone on, what disturbs the whole shir, it's a question of a real ism, so you can't compare it to that. But nevertheless, Bitzuk nems on that Pashtus is okay. Yayin sham oid rayis bezeh. Moving further on, the Gemara Beis asks on the Mishnah, it says Shabbat Gumliel, they would doichif their shekel to be natorim, and why would they doichif? The Truma patters everybody from in the lishcha. So the Gemara says, nevertheless, it was a nachas ruach for them, that it was niskar from them tchila. From the Ikar Gemara, that the Gemara says, pater shel chaveiroi, or sameach, brings a raya to a tremendous suffix that declares, what's the get in Trumas Halishcha? Is Trumas Halishcha, is it similar to Truma of Paris that's mesakin the Kri? So over here also Trumas Halishcha is mesakin it from the fact that Gemara says a losach of pater chaveiroi, it's mashma, it was a chalois heter of Truma, and the emes yesh la'ayin oid, and the Eker Sofik the Sameach, if there's a tikkun by Trumas Halishcha from the fact that it's Mavu and the Carbon Edom and Aleph that says that the time of Trumas Halishcha made a bracha, and Ein Gvuras Yitzchak, Srotzkan Shlita, that asks, what's the Havana? Why do you make a bracha by Trumas Halishcha? It's not a mitzvah. Hafash is Trumas and Mais is a mitzvah. Trumas Halishcha is not a mitzvah. So he says either, like the Mogen Avram, that Truma, even though it's not a mitzvah, it's a birchas hashvach. So here also could be it's a birchas hashvach, but the birchas hashvach is only when you masakin, so it's mashman, it is a tikkun, or like you kveiga, that the bracha on truma is a birchas hamitzvah, but it's also the birchas hamitzvah is because it's a tikkun, so it's mashma, there is a tikkun, like that Sadik of the Osmeach, that with the Hafrosh's Truma there's a Tikkun. Ein Mikdash David, they ask, what's the Havana of the Gemara's Teretz? That's Nachas Ruach for Bnei Gamliel that was carved for them Tchila. What's the difference? It was carved for them Tchila. It was a korban sibur that came from the Lishcha. What make a difference if their money was first? So the Mikdash David says, according to a tremendous chiddush, it's mavur in the Rosh, and how is that it's mavur in the Rosh, although the halacha is ein korban sibur meisas. However, if the bailam of the shekel that was brought for this korban sibur was mesa, has halacha of a korban sibur was mesa. So Mikdash David says, although the halacha is that all the karbonos that come from the lishcha have halacha of a korban sibur, but there is a concept of a bailam tvei, the one that the actual money came for this korban is a bailam tvei, and therefore there's a halacha of a korban sibur mesa. So according to this, that's why he explains. That's why it's nachas ruach from Gamliel. That's korban tchila, because they're considered a greater meviyah korban. They're a greater bailim. It's tzorchi and tuva. What's the hageder in this? Although it's a korban sibur, if it's korban sibur, what's the specific maila and the fact that it's their money? It's mavur that it can't be their money. The moisil it's sibur yofa yofa. It's not their money. Ayin and b'chonon. And Baba Basra that says that korban sibur is not a korban shutzvim, it's a korban sibur. It's not like a group of yechidim. So for the tzorchim, what's the maila nesefes? That the one that owns the money is a bailam tvei v'tzorchi in oid bezeh.